Do you get heartburn bending over shoeing horses? Well, years ago, I had it so bad that I would be almost puking every morning. And I'm going to tell you some ways in this video of how to get rid of it and talk about some popular medicines that you may not want to take. So I'll keep this short and sweet. First thing I'm going to talk about is what not to do for heartburn, and this goes against a lot of medical advice, I know, but a lot of people take what are called proton pump inhibitors, which are things like Prilosec over the counter or even prescription Prilosec and Nexium, and if you look it up, there's actually a whole bunch of evidence that that class of medicine actually causes a lot of harm. And while it might work in the short term, there's also, this is both people I know's experience, and also I've read some of the science behind why it happens. But if you stop taking them, then it comes back, then your heartburn can come back even worse with an overgrowth of bad bacteria in your stomach. And so if you want more information on why you shouldn't take proton pump inhibitors, I think you can Google that term with Chris Kresser, Kresser. He has a blog post listing all the scientific research on the damages they cause and health risks, including cardiovascular disease and a disrupted gut biome and lower nitric oxide production. I think it's oxide, but that's basically what helps blood flow and performance. And in fact, it's one of those things that if you're a married man and you like to stay up late with your wife, you don't want a decrease in nitric oxide production, because it kind of decreases blood flow in certain areas. Anyway, there's a lot of bad side effects proven with proton pump inhibitors. So you really don't want to start there. That's I would say, the last ditch, and I would never take them. But the one easy way the very first thing I would do, which I did when I had heartburn, this was years ago, and when I first started shoeing, when I was in shoeing school, I fought with it, and then for a few years after, I'd just be bent over, almost puking every morning. One of the best things I did was I cut out all sweet drinks in the morning. In fact, I quit drinking them altogether. Dr. Pepper, sweet tea. I don't know what the science is or why that worked, but I know that I felt a lot better, and that drastically cut down on heartburn symptoms. Made it a lot easier to bend over and get under a lot of horses every day. So that's the number one thing, cut out sweet drinks. And I got a buddy of mine, if he's watching this right now, I know he'd laugh at me like he's not giving up his Pepsi in the morning. I got you. But you got to make your life choices and make your bed and live in it. And maybe if you're watching this and you're a Pepsi drinker, you know who I'm talking about. You're one of the lucky ones that it doesn't give heartburn to. But I know if I drink a Dr. Pepper in the morning, then that's almost a recipe for heartburn. Next thing is, if you have it at night or even in the morning, I know this is counterintuitive, and if you don't change the way you eat over time, then it may not work as well. But this apple cider vinegar with the mother, it's generally like an overall health tonic. There's a lot of claims about it being a detox thing, or how it helps you lose weight or whatever. I'm not concerned with all that right now, but I do know that if you take a swig of this every day and chase it with some water, or some people say put it in water, mix it up first, but I just take a little drink like this. Chase it with some good old ice water. That'll keep your stomach functioning and actually raise the acid, or helps. You need more acid to digest your food, and a lot of times heartburn is too little acid. That's counterintuitive, but I'm not going to go into all that because I'll get lost in my words and trying to remember exactly what I've read about it. But another thing is that helped me a lot was just stop eating breakfast before I go to work. And a lot of people say, oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I know you've probably heard that. I've heard it too, but I like to chew on an empty stomach. I know that there's been days I've done 7 or 8 head without eating anything. And then, man, that on the way home, you go and stop at a steakhouse or something and order a big steak with all the hundreds of dollars you just earned, and drink a little beer, eat some steak, maybe order another steak. That's one of the best feelings in the world, the feeling of, when you're actually truly hungry, eating some good food. So that's on that number 2 is to not eat breakfast. That'll cut down on your heartburn. And the third one that I've used before, and like if some people wake up early on when I didn't eat as well as I do now, I would wake up in the middle of the night with bad heartburn or keep me up, and I'd want to get sick. And one of the best ways to get over that is to take a teaspoon of Arm & Hammer baking soda, mix it up in a glass of water and drink it. Don't ask me why it works. It has to do with the pH in your stomach. I don't know that I'd do that with the vinegar at the same time. You might have a science experiment gone wrong, but I know that works. And that's actually another thing that some people, some alternative health writers and doctors that I follow on recommend doing that every day anyway. It's really good for you. I think it somehow oxygenates your blood and your body, and I'm getting into some new age bullshit there. I don't know, but I believe it is good for you. And if I remember, I'll take it somewhat regularly anyway. So that's the third thing. And there's something else that I don't remember what I was going to say. There was another idea I had, or another way that you can. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. This video is getting a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but if you are just starting out shoeing horses or done it for a while and still fighting this heartburn, the one more thing I was going to say, I'll put a picture in this video, is that I know this is easier said than done, but if you can use your legs more and keep your back straight, keep your head up above your knees, then that's going to help. That's going to help with relieving heartburn as well. If you bend over and curl your back down and put your head under your knees, then just like me in this picture, then I know, that makes it worse. And this is easier said than done, but it'll help everything about your shoeing career if you can keep your lower back straight and use your legs more than your back. One more reason to get in shape. And like I said, this video is going longer than I was intending, but I hope you got something out of it. Leave me a comment if one of these methods of alleviating your heartburn works. Tell me if you don't get heartburn, or if you did and how you fixed it. Please leave me a comment. And if you know someone that does fight this, I know it's a pretty terrible deal when you're in the middle of it. And I fought it for several years, and I'm glad now to be rid of it. So pass this video along to someone that could use it, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Adios.